I started this gangster shit. And this the mother thanks I get. Hello. I started this gangster shit. And this the mother thanks I get.
Hey, if you're new here and enjoying the content, please take a minute to hit that subscribe button. Join us. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan. Good to have you with me. This is an addendum to my SJW Star Wars Fandom Scandal series. Many of you know that a couple of days ago I released Part 4, which featured an interview, long-form interview, with Fandom luminary Jason Ward. I got on the phone with him, I asked him a few very pointed questions, and I think he answered them. I left the interview kind of open-ended. When I posted the video, I added the evidence to confirm or argue against some of the things that he was saying. But basically, I did want to leave it open for you, the viewer, to make these decisions for yourself. Jason has been accused of doing all kinds of various ops on behalf of Lucasfilm before he did them on behalf of his own webpage called Making Star Wars. And really, again, you can listen to the video, you can look at what I put on the screen, and then you can kind of decide for yourself what you believe. And I think that's the right thing to do. Now, Jason reached out to me back in December when I first announced that I was going to do a documentary series about sexual assault allegations against Bobby Roberts. I am not friends with Jason Ward. Jason Ward is not my pal. In fact, we've taken pretty harsh swipes at each other on our various YouTube channels, on our Twitter pages, and yet Jason thought this was important enough to reach out to me and try to offer me his version of the truth in advance of me going ahead and making a documentary about what this actually was. And Jason told me a story, and I haven't had a chance to tell you that story yet, and I thought maybe this would be the best way to do it as a preface to the Twitter blowback here that you see, teased on your screen, that he received for coming on and being interviewed on my YouTube channel. Okay, the fandom community is furious with him. These SJWs are absolutely furious. But I'm glad that he did what he did. It was very brave of him to do what he did. And I want to tell you, okay. And you know what? I'm going to call this episode. I'm going to call it "The Truth Shall Set You Free," and then a question mark at the end of it, because I'm not sure that this is the truth, but it's a pretty good story. And Jason explained to me exactly how Bobby Roberts, he believed, got caught up in these allegations, and why, to the best of Jason's knowledge, Bobby Roberts is innocent. Here's the story. He says that in 2006 or 2007, a young woman who Jason's acquainted with and her boyfriend attended San Diego Comic-Con. The boyfriend broke up with her and left her with his friends at a party. One of those friends roofied her and raped her. Now, the trauma and fallout of this crime caused an enormous stir, but it also quite a bit of confusion, because Bobby Roberts was friends with this young woman's now ex-boyfriend. Do you follow that? Okay. So Bobby is given a story from this guy that this young woman hooked up with this guy's business partner. I hope that's clear. I know that's a little bit roundabout. Okay, so the ex-boyfriend goes to Bobby Roberts and says, that girl, she hooked up with my business partner. She's a tramp. Now, Bobby gets angry about this, and Bobby is cruel to this young woman ever after that. Okay, cruel. He's rude to her on the internet, etc., etc. Now, one of the people in Star Wars fandom that heard this story, okay, and is familiar with both people, begins to share it around, but they don't have the story straight. They think that Bobby is the one who raped someone at San Diego Comic-Con. And they start to spread this rumor around, and of course that rumor takes on a life of its own. Now, a fellow named Jared hears the rumor, and when Bobby is offered a job at Oni Comics, I think as a DJ, Jared spreads the rumors about Bobby in order to kill that job offer. From there, word gets around. Okay, Oxygen picks up this wildfire, and it becomes, quite a thing. It becomes a game of telephone. Eventually, it solidifies itself as Bobby Roberts is a convicted rapist in a conversation with Brian Young. Now, Brian Young denied it, And that's how our documentary series began, with Brian Young not believing women. Okay, so that is the story. This is, I don't know if this is true, but this is the story that Jason Ward imparted to me before we began our telephone conversation. And to me, that makes sense to me. In my opinion, that sounds pretty reasonable. Now, having said that, the fan community itself is aware that Jared kind of walked all this back, by the way. They're saying, we didn't hear this rumor from Jared. We actually know the victims, etc., etc. And that has been their story from there. The young women who we're about to look at here with this Twitter blowback. So, of course, everyone watched the Jason Ward video on my channel. Everyone watched it. It did very, very well. For a 1 hour long video it just consisted of a telephone conversation, it attracted a lot of attention and a lot of interest. And of course, people who were making these accusations against Bobby Roberts have also all watched these videos eagerly, and here's the reaction. I'll read some of these. Now, these are they're available on Disney Star Wars is Dumb, which is one of my favorite websites. This guy does really, really good work, and I definitely use him for research. Here's the reaction to part 4 of Ethan Van Sciver's Star Wars scandal videos from some notable personalities involved. So you'll actually hear these names, okay? These are some of the people who were spreading the rumors about Bobby Roberts, some of the people who drove him off of the internet and off of his platform as, a podcaster, the co-host of Full of Sith with Brian Young. Making the active choice to talk to EVS is fucking atrocious. The mouths on these people, I'll tell you. He is far from objective. You are all fucking assholes. And that's Saf. My response to that is, actually, I think I am objective. I don't really care about this. It's the allegations themselves are not that important to me. It's not about whether or not Bobby Roberts is or isn't guilty. Indeed, if he isn't guilty, that's fine. If he is guilty, that's okay with me too. That's not the point of my documentary series. My documentary series is to point out how SJWs use rumor and mob tactics to destroy people's lives. So I was actually looking for evidence. I was hoping to find evidence that would either convict Bobby in my own mind, or prove that he was innocent. Either way, to myself, I have not found that evidence. I still am not sure. But again, here we go. If nobody chooses to tell you about something bad that happened to someone, maybe there's a good the F word every single time reason why you can't find anything out. Hearing my name in that effing video and hearing Jason throw me under the bus like this has floored me. I don't think Jason threw Saf under the bus. Jason kind of seemed to feel sad that they were no longer friends because of these circumstances. But again, if you are Jason and Jason believes the story that I just told you on his behalf, and you are going to persecute him for that, Jason feels like he knows the truth. You're going to lose a friendship, and that's too bad. That is too bad. She goes on. I used to think of this man as a good friend in this community. This community is worthless. I will tell you that right now. This community eats itself alive. The people in it are cruel to each other. There is no sense of understanding. There is no mercy or sympathy. There's no empathy. There is just people virtue signaling and tearing each other apart. And that is what I've found about this community. I think that became very, very evident and very, very clear back a couple of months ago when John Kasdan came out and said, hey, yeah, he made a joke. John Kasdan made a joke in a conversation with me about how the only people he's hostile towards are the women who rejected him in high school. It was just an offhanded joke. And these same people that we are looking at here, swarmed him, harassed him, abused him, dehumanized him, tried to destroy his career, essentially. Now, John Kasdan was cool enough to basically deflect and volley all of this abuse, but most people aren't able to do that. And I think he came away from that situation realizing exactly what I was telling him the whole time, that SJWs are crazy. Star Wars SJWs are crazy and cruel. They are piranhas. That is how they behave. So again, now the F words are becoming capitalized as SAF goes on. I would never have had an interview about this with someone like EVS of all people. This is effed up, and he knows it. I don't think so. Honestly, I think Jason doesn't think that. He is straight up lying about me and the things I said. Knowing what kind of people will be hearing this, I will probably get harassment from this now. Well, here's the thing. Again, Saf, you could come and tell me what he was lying about, but you're not taking that opportunity. I wonder why. And also, as for harassment, I'm sorry. I watch you guys swarm and harass people all the time. I watch you be cruel. I watch you behave as piranhas to other people who just want to be Star Wars fans. They became part of the community that you guys are a part of, that you rule over, that you govern over cruelly, to talk about Star Wars and to enjoy their fandom with other fans, and they've ended up becoming, in some kind of abusive cult-like relationship with you people, and I think that's too bad. I think it's too bad. And for the record, RIT, what is that? The tweet that started all this, multiple people have talked about Steele verbally harassing a security woman, I think, who wouldn't let him through a door at a con. That tweet wasn't about nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, I kind of refuse to talk about Steele too much. I think his name came up at one point, and I just said, I don't know anything about him. I mean, Steele kind of told me to that he wasn't interested in dealing with me at all, and he blocked me, and as far as I know, I have no problem with him, and don't know what she's talking about here. But here she goes on. If you come from my network podcasters and my friends who have seen and heard how people have acted, you can effing expect I am going to tell you to F off. All right, well, I do expect that, honestly. I expect you to tell everyone to F off. I don't want to fight with people I once considered friends. I thought this had been dropped. Just stop being effing dickheads. It just goes on and on. It just keeps going. If you don't have any respect for Jason Ward, if you have any respect for Jason Ward or anyone involved in this, call them the F out. So you're calling for harassment for doing something like this. Jason's protecting himself. He's protecting his friend's reputation. I actually, Jason even said, I don't really like Bobby that much. He's not that important to me, but I do think he's being railroaded, and this is the truth of the story here. This is the truth of the matter. So you're calling for harassment. Everyone knows what EVS and his fans are all about. Well, we're about loving Star Wars. We're about the truth, and we're about fighting the SJWs that are, I don't know, they start these cult-like fake communities that force people to adhere to this kind of social justice regimen. And if you make one single mistake, as I've demonstrated in my documentaries, they do swarm and abuse you and pretty much destroy your life. Look what happened to Brian Young. Look what happened to Bobby Roberts. Look what almost happened to Jason Ward and what they're trying to do to Jason Ward right now. It's not going to work. All right, so I will never ask anyone to pick a side or unfollow people or whatever either, because I know how it feels to be caught in between. Jason is caught in between. Just make sure to keep yourselves safe. They always say this, like, keep yourself safe. Be safe. Be safe, they say. We're just trying to make the community safe while they are actively and hostilely harassing people and destroying reputations and lives. But as long as everyone in the community is safe, I guess that's great. As long as you're still a welcome member of the community, I guess you're safe. Someone like Bobby Roberts, who was a part of the community, no longer safe. Somebody like Brian Young is part of the community, no longer safe. And someone like Jason Ward, and by the way, and his wife Amanda, no longer safe. No longer safe. That's interesting. Here we keep going. The last thing I'll say on this right now, because I'd rather think about the Nutella I'm about to eat, fine, is that at the time all of this happening, Jason was using alt-right rhetoric to try and shout us down. Then he ran off to chat with an alt-right pal to get support or whatever. It's gross from top to bottom and shows how little he actually cared. And we're still going. Actually, one more thing. I will not speak privately to anyone involved in this. If anyone thinks to try. If you want to chat, everyone's got to see it. If you send me a DM, I will share it. Good night. Bobby Roberts, I think you have a defamation lawsuit against this individual. That's my opinion. Now, that's assuming that you are innocent. That's assuming that what I have come to learn about this case is true. I think that would be, if all of that is something to be considered, I think that you might want to lawyer up. So here we go. All of you should listen to Jason Ward's interview with DVS. This is Tracy thinks she's funny, feminist nerd. She gets a shout out in the video because I thought she was being referred to by Jason. Not only does he completely throw Saf under the bus, I don't think he did, but he sympathizes and tells his story to a known harasser, racist, and sexist. By the way, SJWs do this. They use the word known. We've actually pointed out a lot of the rhetoric and language that SJWs and NPCs consistently use to dehumanize people. They consistently use to sort of degrade and isolate people. Known is one of them. He's a known. Who knows? Who is it that knows that I am a harasser? I don't harass people. A racist. I am not a racist at all. Not at all. Not a sexist either. Here's my side of the story, says Tracy. Oh, this should be good. I've known Jason since I was 18. By the way, Jason said some nice things about Tracy, I think. I considered him and Amanda very close friends. I called their children my nephew and niece. I still love them. The studio he references in the interview, that was my bedroom and my first apartment. I paid for most of everything. EVS asked me to do an interview. That is a lie. Tracy, why do you lie when you know I can see this and actually, comment? What I did was I sent you a message and I said, I see all of your tweets. And would you like to comment on this situation? I didn't ask you for an interview. I don't have much to ask you. I don't know who you are. But considering the fact that you played a central role in all of this, I wanted to let you know that I was doing the documentary. And if you would like to comment and justify anything that you've said or done on the internet, any of these tweets that I'm about to show, I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say. That is called being objective. And instead, I blocked him and gave Amanda a heads up. Amanda already knew. We weren't on the best of terms, but I wanted the words to know a piece of shit was doing a story about them. They ran with it because they have zero integrity and zero loyalty. I think that's interesting. That's a really interesting thing. Zero integrity, zero loyalty. You're not on the best of terms with them. I wonder why. You are lying here. And they already reached out to me. I mean, that's the other interesting thing. As I've already said, Jason reached out to me. I didn't reach out to Jason. Okay. This should really be an important lesson. Men stick together. Jason and Ethan were buddies in that interview because women were the inconvenience. No, I don't think so. I think Jason and I were having a phone conversation. We weren't buddies then. We're not buddies now. Quite the opposite. But this was important because something was at stake. Something that these people don't consider to be important, and that something is the truth. And the truth was what needed to come out. By the way, anyone who thinks that that video was buddy-buddy, that interview was buddy-buddy, you are a special, unique, exceptional individual if you think that interview was buddy-buddy. Women were an inconvenience, she says. Interesting. Just so we're clear, Jason mentioned Saf several times on a channel where the users deliberately target people. No, they don't. He put her in harm's way. No, he didn't. He's not an ally. If you think you're his friend, call him the F out. So harass Jason. Harass Jason because we can't control him, because Jason values the truth more than he values acceptance in your cult, in your weirdo clique of people who destroy entire lives of people they formerly called their friends just based on rumor and innuendo. She says, I've been quiet. I've been kind. I've seen no evidence of that. But that interview was embarrassing and disgusting. I agree, but not for the reasons that you do. I don't want to hear a single thing about RFR, that's Rebel Force Radio. And, now she's saying making Star Wars is obviously just as bad. Also, I'm glad you couldn't fucking say my name, Jason. F word again. Keep it out of your mouth forever. Keep his name out of your mouth, I would say. I don't really know. All right, so here we go. Hey, Jason, I'm blocked, but if you want to discredit my friends and sell them out to Ethan Van Sciver, it's Van Sciver. Maybe I should stop keeping secrets. That'd be fine with me, too. If you're okay with making Star Wars, selling out the women who have worked our asses off. This is essentially, I want you to picture this person sitting on a bed with a young priest and an old priest holding crucifixes over her while she vomits pea soup. This kind of temper tantrum should say it all. These temper tantrums, these long Twitter threads laced with obscenities, talking about loyalty, etc., telling people to call someone out and harass them. This should say it all. I don't really even have to continue with this, but I will, because this is already a 20-minute video. It's fascinating, but I will to make a point. I want all of this stuff on the record. This is who these people are. These people are what are called Star Wars fan luminaries. They have a community where they are cruel to each other. There is a tightly knit, tightly woven community of just abusers. They protect abusers. We pointed that out before, and they harass people that don't go along with them, and they shun them. It's funny because I did talk to Jason. I sent him a note. Jason can't be happy with me right now, after that video. But I just sent him a note and said, your friends are assholes. I mean, as simple as that. And I said, you should come over and join us. Change your heart. And he said, I'm Octo, I'm Luke right now, and I thought that was pretty profound. It's like he's decided he is an island unto himself. He is, he's going to be, he's going to seclude himself from all of this, from both sides. I don't blame him. All right, so here we go. Tracy is announcing, she is spitting at people. If you're okay with making Star Wars selling out the women who have worked our asses off in Star Wars to a racist, sexist scumbag, then you aren't an ally. You aren't my friend, and I have no respect for you. You may lose listeners or followers, but if you can't have integrity, I have no time for you. Again, just threats. Tracy, the quicker you isolate yourself from other people, from normal people, when you have this kind of attitude, the quicker you stop hurting people within your own community, the better. I think that would be a good thing. And then Jason actually said to her, hey, check your DMs. I think he wanted to say something to her. She said, yeah, nah. She's not going to check her DMs. She says, also, my friends have enough DMs of you reaching out to them to call me a liar after 12 years of friendship. I'm good. This is really intense. I mean, this is crazy. And this is just, I feel bad when I tweet one thing out. When I tweet one controversial thing out, I feel bad. I'm like, oh, should I do this? Yeah, and I kind of weigh it in my mind, and I go, yeah, I'm going to do this because it needs to be said. These people just go on and on with the longest Twitter threads of abusive, vile, disgusting hate. I mean, this is just hate. This is a long Twitter thread of hate and abuse. It's meant to make Jason feel small. It's meant to turn people against him. And for what? Because he wanted to come on the air with me and clear his friend's name if he could, and clear my name and try to bring some clarity to a very murky and ugly situation. This is the consequence of that for him. Again, oh look, I'm blocked again. She says, if you think it's easy to talk shit on someone who I thought was my family for over 10 years, it's not. I have to draw a line. Making Star Wars was my family. I loved everyone. I defended everyone involved, and I watched it grow from day one. I've gained absolutely nothing and lost friends. I find it funny that two incredibly spineless men have the nerve to mention Semi-Rose and Wander Lustin. These women kick major ass. They're brave and awesome, and I'm lucky to call them friends. Well, until they disappoint you in some way, I guess. It's a huge relief to stop pretending I left Rebel Girl because of my move to Australia. At this point, it should be incredibly obvious why I left. It's not. I don't know what these people are talking about. All right, so here's Abby. This is another person. This is the woman with the knife in her avatar. Oh, God. If you didn't want to believe us last time, maybe you'll believe us now when we say Jason Ward is an asshole who doesn't care about women, since he openly talked about a woman who used to be his friend to a... Look at this. This is so that I can't... Like, somebody's going to sit and search Comicsgator and find out that she is ragging on Comicsgate. Abby, everyone talks about us. Abby, everyone talks about Comicsgate nonstop. We don't search anymore. We just assume you're all obsessing over us. Honestly. He did this to try to cover his own ass. I don't think so. If you're out here defending Jason Ward after he threw Saf under the bus, again, I don't think he did that. I think that is a weird meme. And name-dropped other women to EVS who has targeted and harassed us multiple times. Abby, I got to be honest with you. I'm just bringing what you're saying and doing, and the things that I think are immoral and unjust, I'm just bringing them to light. And I'm letting people know in the Star Wars fan community that there's another way. And that other way doesn't involve having to bow and scrape to you and to Saf and to Tracy and all of these weird women who write these long, obsessive, screeching Twitter screeds and accuse men of sexual assault with no evidence, and pretty much destroy their lives. You're not an ally. I think, honestly, it's time that people reevaluate what it means to be an ally. Rather than being an ally to third-wave feminist SJWs, become an ally to the human race, to fairness, to justice, and all of those things. So look at this. This just goes on and on and on. These people, I can't read any more of this poison. I mean, it's utter poison. Here's Jordan Masson, this guy, who's still upset that we dunked on his charity for the Captain Marvel challenge, in which he raised $1,820 to send kids, force them to go see Captain Marvel. I donated $1,820 to No Kid Hungry, like this, and then Comicsgate raised another nearly $6,000 for No Kid Hungry, and that's what we did. We took underprivileged kids and we gave them food. This guy bought them movie tickets to see feminist propaganda, and he's still mad about it. All right, so this is the thing. You can go to Disney Star Wars is Dumb and read all of this ranting if you want. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that this ranting happened. I'm grateful that this article exists that sums it all up here, Twitter blowback. This is a great ending. I don't even know if it is an ending. I mean, who knows? This is something that could go on and on. For SJW's Star Wars Fandom Scandal, which was a documentary that I feel like I was privileged to make. I'm glad that I made it. I think it will stand the test of time as a document to prove how inhumane these crazy far left-wing radicals are to each other and to people who they oppose. I think their words sum it up. Their vulgarity, their profanity, their willingness to destroy each other at the drop of a hat. Their desire to bring people down to their lowest point and to possibly make them feel suicidal because they didn't follow their weirdo SJW narrative. Now, hopefully, all of the boys that appeared in my videos have learned a lesson from this. I'm not sure that they have, but I mean, Brian Young, Bobby Roberts, Jason Ward, I would say to you, as an older brother type, look and learn. Listen and learn. This is reality. This is the way it is. You don't have to be a part of this. You can oppose this. It isn't right. It isn't fair. And there's a whole big wide world out there of normal people who look at this and want to throw up. And I think that's the majority of the population. So, in any case, thank you so much for listening to me talk about this. Thank you so much for watching all of the videos associated with this. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do subscribe to this channel. Double check and make sure that YouTube didn't unsubscribe you from this channel. They do that sometimes. Ring that bell for notifications. And thank you so much for all of your support. Watching my videos, clicking thumbs up, all of that. Smashing the melee button, as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers says. That really does a lot to help this channel grow, and I'm grateful to you guys. We'll continue doing this good work, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I was put here to do. Thanks, everyone. Hey, I got a P.O. Box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And I'll probably open it up on the live stream. Thanks very much, everyone. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there. Join the Fandom Menace and execute your own Order 66 with our incredible line of t-shirts, Soylo, a Soy Wars story, Tico, a Soy Wars story, and our brand new smoking hot Soy Wars Plan 9. Make a statement today. This is the only trilogy you'll ever need. The link is below in the description. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the laughing man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.